Today we're going to go over a upgrade that you can do for your LSA engine's oiling system, and that is to replace and upgrade the stock oil pan oil baffle with a improved racing system oil baffle. This upgrade helps so that when you are doing hard launches with the car, that the oil will stay around the pickup tube so you won't have any oil starve issues. Having these issues is one of the potential problems that can cause your LSA engine's main bearings to go out, as I've talked about in a previous video. So we're going to go over how to install the new baffle, take a look at the stock one, and see what all comes in the box. So I ordered my improved racing baffle with a new gasket, and you can also order it with oil pickup tube O-ring. So it looks like they sent me a little keychain. Got the O-ring for the pickup tube. Also, it says that it comes with a lifetime warranty. So if you're looking this up, Improved Racing is the actual name brand. So I got a new oil pan gasket, oil pickup tube, and the baffle. So there's the part number for you if you want to look it up. On their website, it's not too hard to find. And this is what it looks like. So this is going to go by the oil filter. So as you can see here, this is the stock one. We'll take a look at the bottom of it here in a minute. And then here is the Improved Racing oil baffle. That's what the top looks like. And then the bottom surrounding where your oil pickup goes. So you've got 4 different trap doors along with some sides built to it as well. So they have, I believe it was some different graphs and different data about how this helps and improves the oil system and what it all does for it. Okay, so now taking a look at the stock one and what it takes to remove it. So you have 7 10mm bolts. So once you take all 10 of those out, and this new baffle, it just simply is going to bolt in place of the old one. And for those that don't fully understand, your oil pickup tube sets down in here. This goes on the bottom of the oil pump, and so the oil pickup tube goes down in this hole. So that's where we're trying to keep the oil around. As you can see, you've got a screen on the bottom, and it's flat, it's spaced. There's a spec for the certain amount that it's spaced up off of the bottom of the oil pan. So as you can see, the stock oil baffle piece here is just simply the top piece that you're taking out. You have some baffling built in, but it's obviously not near as much as we're going to get with the Improved Racing oil baffle. If you're wondering what this here is, that is your oil level sensor on the side of your pan, right there. All right, so we're going to get this cleaned up a little bit and work on the install. Now I've got the oil pan cleaned out real good, got all the debris out, wiped out the sludge. For that, I used just some brake and parts cleaner. So used about 1.5 cans or so, and first sprayed it down there, let it set for a little bit, kind of loosen things up, and shooting that into some of the tight areas kind of helps to blow some junk out of there. You'll have to get in there with a rag. I just kind of used a rag, and that didn't leave lint. And also, like, even a screwdriver helps to put inside the rag to get into some tight places. So the next thing to do also with the install, they do give installation instructions. Again, there's the part number for this piece. They give you the instructions of how to install it, torque specs and everything as well. So the next thing to do is they give you 5 of these spacers. These 5 spacers go on these 5 posts. Those 5 are at a lower level than the front 2. So their suggestion is to just dab it in a little bit of white lithium grease and then just set it on there so that it doesn't move. So just dab these in some grease. Also, while I'm doing this, I'll mention, first off, a shout out to Rick Crawford. He was the one who told me about the oil starving issues on these, and said that I ought to purchase one of these improved racing oil baffles. Okay, now that those are on there, another thing I'll mention is when you're cleaning out your oil pan, the other thing that I did was shoot some compressed air into all those holes, just like if you're torquing down bolts into a block for a cylinder head. Like, you don't want any coolant or any liquid down off in there, because then when it gets hot and expands, then you're subject to getting trapped in between all the bolts and the bottom of the bolt and stuck inside there. And then when it heats up and expands, then it can crack and then bust open all those stands where the bolt's at. So that's one suggestion I'll give you there. The other thing you have to do is remove the oil level sensor. It is a 1 1/8 inch nut that's on it. It comes out real easy. You can just even be real gentle with a pair of pliers. So now if we just set this down real easy, that grease will hold all those spacers in, and then we can put the bolts. Something else I was going to show is, so your back trap door is actually going back here behind that section, and then the other 3 trap doors are up in this bigger open section. So your spot where your oil pickup tube is right here. So I imagine, this is just me coming up with a guess, I'm guessing that when you launch real hard, your oil can go up in here, get trapped up in this back section when your oil pickup tube is clear up here. So these trap doors are supposed to help with that. All right. So the other thing I did too, always clean up your threads. Wipe off your threads on everything. And I also put on some, just a little dab of blue Loctite. So it didn't say to, but I just didn't want anything coming loose. So we'll reinstall all 7 of these. All 7 of these are 10 millimeter, and they all are the exact same length. While I'm installing them, I can see that the stands, those little spacers, have stayed in place. I had to move that one just a little bit to get started. All right, and then all of those get torqued at between 8 to 9 foot-pounds. Let's see, it says in here 8 to 9 foot-pounds, 106 inch-pounds. I'm gonna torque those down real quick. Okay, all 7 of those are installed and torqued down. Like I said, I wiped them off, cleaned them up with a rag, got the threads all cleaned, put a little dab of Loctite on them, and then 8 to 9 foot-pounds. And then reinstall your oil level sensor. And this is just plastic, so it does not have to be very tight, just has to seal. So I'll put a wrench on there and just snug it just a hair more. But that's it for the install. So if you would, please give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel, please, if you would, to help me out. And I'm gonna keep trying to bring along more of these videos as I do more upgrades and different things on my CTS-V. So thank you all very much for watching.